Well, hello everybody. This is Wild Bill here with another episode of Grain of Salt. Welcome to the program. I know that we've been talking about a particular subject line. For a while we talked about God being the God of the elect. We talked about that our relationship with Him is based on the idea and the understanding that we are slaves of Him. And yes, He goes on to talk about that because we obey Him, that He doesn't just call us slaves, He calls us friends as well. And we become sons and then heirs and joint heirs with Him, so on and so forth. But I've been thinking about something for the last week or so, pondering heavy on a different direction. And so I want to talk about that today and possibly for a little while anyway. But this, in essence, I've been thinking about how God is immutable. In other words, He doesn't change. He is, in His essence and in His nature, He does not change. He is, He is steady. And He's not like us. And in that, moving on, kind of fast forward a little bit in my thinking, I thought about how Jesus said they hate me because I testify to them that their deeds are evil. And He said essentially the same thing about us. He said they're going to hate you because they hated me. And they're going to hate you for the same reasons. And you show forth the glory of God to other people. And in that, they hate God because of His holiness. That He is so different. That's what holy means. Distinct. Set apart. So different. He called you and I a peculiar people. Totally different from the world. And they're gonna hate us because of that. And I just want to talk about or think about with you how He does not change. And we live in a time and in a culture that if people believe in the existence of God, they don't consider that He's holy. They have no ideas about, and they don't entertain the thought of Him being holy, different, distinct, set apart, totally holy. And if they do consider them to be holy, and they know that He does exist and He is holy, then a small number of them would dare to count Him holy, would think to add to that divine justice. And then if you could find them that know that He exists, they know it, and that He is holy and that He is just, then to add to that He is a God of wrath, it'd be near about impossible, and you'd be hard pressed to find them, that would believe that He is a God of wrath as well as holy and just. And the reason, and it's rampant and it's everywhere, the reason is in this world that we live in and in the church, I hate to say it, in the church today, the assumption is that the love and the grace and the mercy of God swallow up His holiness and justice. And definitely it swallows up His wrath. It's not even talked about. Or at minimum, it trumps it. If those attributes of God exist, and you know, then his love and grace and mercy would trump those things. We hear the sound of the song of Amazing Grace being played everywhere in secular society as well as in our religious society. And based on the actions of society in either one of those places, whether it be out there in the secular world, you know, people love that song. Or in the religious circles, you know, they love that song. Not many truly believe that his grace is amazing. It's kind of like the words, the remainder of the words kind of go off into a haze. When they sing the words that saved a wretch like me, it's like they're in a fog. You know, it's the amazing grace is something that we assume because God in our minds is not holy. He is not just, and he is not the God of wrath in folks' minds and in their beliefs. And that's sad. And you know, I want to go that direction. I want to talk about the wrath of God. I want to talk about the holiness of God, and I want to talk about his justice, because I think that these things are lacking in our thinking, in our pondering. You know, we take these things for granted. And in our next video, kind of the direction I want to go with it, as I want to talk to you about some passages in the scriptures that show forth, you know, these attributes of God. And so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. And Father, make us fruitful. Prune us, though it hurt. And remember the widows, the orphans, and the poor.